Let today be the day you give up who you've been for who you can become. Hal Elrod. My friends, 10 to 15 minutes each and every day if you want to be a master trader. How do you start? It's like moving a mountain. You start by carrying a rock. And our rocks are 10 to 15 minutes each and every day learning how these markets move. We're in the worst time of the year, typically. Summertime trading zone, less volume, which means smaller things can move the market back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. But we're here. We'll be here. We'll push through. And of course, the reward will be the fall-winter trading zone where typically it gets a lot better, either up or down. Remember, all market crashes occur in the month of October, so you never know what's on the way. Let's jump into these charts. We see everything down except XBTF, even though Bitcoin itself for the day is down. Our Bitcoin futures up a little bit, 0.08. But let's jump first into the S&P 500. We see we're now for 2.5 days. We pushed above the 200 EMA on the half-day chart. And then we've been sliding sideways. What's happening? Is it just digesting this up move and push through the 200 exponential moving average, or is it about to scissor back through? Don't know. Waiting to see what's going to happen. I would love to see it go into the red so we get a new starting point for potentially jumping in. Of course, our 2-day is in the green also. It's sitting right there. The candle wick has pushed through. It's done that already on the prior 2-day candle, but we're sitting right up there on the 200 EMA on the 2-day. And of course, the weekly, we have to pull it up a little for you, bounced off back on the week beginning the 13th of June, bounced off the 200 EMA on the weekly. And we can see again where we're topping off at about the same point. Are things going to die on the vine and roll back over? Don't know. We'll wait. We'll see. The charts, my friends, always tell us. Let's look at the NASDAQ 100. It was down for the day 0.30%. By the way, the S&P down 0.66%. And again, like the S&P, we've topped out at about the same spot. This is just for 2 days here. But again, down a little bit for the day. We see the STC is in the positive territory. It's green on the 2-day. STC is green there too. Not as high. It's not up to the 200 EMA yet, but appears to be headed that way. And the same kind of bounce off that happened, 3 weeks ago, where things were bouncing off the 200 EMA and, of course, went into the green last week on the weekly chart. So we'll wait, watch, and see. Just remember on both of these charts, you do have the weekly and the 2-day trying to push things up. So if we have a reset, things move down, that would be nice to give us an opportunity when it clears to move back up again. But we'll see how things move for us. Now, that's where we are on stocks. Next up, iShares 20-year Treasury Bond ETF. That is, of course, what? TLT. And boom, we got into a short position this afternoon. I think our buying point is somewhere around 315 or so at 118 something is where we jumped in. Let me look here. Of course, I can check that by simply going up to the entry point where we pulled the triggers, 118.05 mark. You can see 167 ticks. How did we choose that number as our loss percentage? Well, if you look over to the left-hand side, you want to be looking at this number right here in the red. That is the ATR, the average true range for the 14 prior periods. When I line it up there, you can see it's 167. Double that is 334. And again, that's how we set our profit and loss bands. 1 time for the loss, and then 2-to-1 reward to risk ratio. That puts us at 334 or 2.83%. We're looking to make off that down move. We see where 20-year bonds bounced off that 200 EMA and dropped over into the red. Now, we notice that we're green on the 2-day STC, well below the 200 EMA. I have to really drag this down for you. So we're in negative territory there. We are green on the STC. We're also green on the weekly. And it too, friends, is in quite negative territory. We know that 20-year bonds have been going down for quite a while. And we'll see how this rollover works. We pulled the trigger on it. Again, never hurts to pull a practice trade when they present themselves. So we did. We'll follow that with you to see how it goes. These last ones have not been very good lately as things have been ticking up. We'll see if we're going to get back into positive returns on these. Now, let's move from 20-year bonds to gold, GLD. What do we see going on there? Down for the day. Oh, by the way, TLT 20-year bonds down 2.12%. So a big down day for bonds. Gold down 0.59%. Didn't go into the red on the STC. But after several days of up movements, we do see a pullback underway. We're below the 200 EMA, so of course we're waiting to see if we have verification with that indicator, the STC going red. We look on the 2-day, and of course it is still going up on the STC. It is green, but below the 200 EMA. And what about the weekly? Again, like we saw on the S&P and the NASDAQ 100, bouncing off that 200 EMA. And so far, nice green up candle for the week. So we'll keep an eye on things. Maybe gold is going to roll back a little bit and then fly on up. I mean, again, you note that when things go down, they typically go down in waves, goes down, levels out, might go up a little bit, then drops off again. And we see that over and over and over. The opposite is true when things go up. They go up, pull back, go up, pull back. So we'll watch, wait, and see as this develops. Now, lastly, we'll go to Bitcoin. Where is Bitcoin? Again, I told you that XBT, this is the 24-hour Bitcoin chart for the day, down 1.31%. XBTF, which is the Bitcoin future, is up just a little bit for the day, 0.08%. But again, we see Bitcoin not moving above that $23.50 mark or so, $23.50. On this short-term future Bitcoin ETF. We're below the 200 EMA, and of course Bitcoin has had so much downward pressure on it. We look at the 2-day, it is in the green, but again, just coming off these lowest lows just there at the end of June. So we'll see, and of course we're sort of stalling at that 23.50 or so mark. So in the green still, but again, not slamming up for us yet. And of course, we can see where things are stalling a little this week as opposed to these last 2 weeks, not reaching those most recent highs. So we'll keep our eye on Bitcoin. We'll be ready for it to take off when it's ready. We'll be following it. Thank you so much, my friends, for being with us. Appreciate the new members that we have had to our Patreon support. Remember, we've got lots of great stuff for you Patreon members. And next week, we do have our live Patreon Q&A. It's going to be on Wednesday, the 10th of April. So go ahead if you've not become a Patreon member. 3 levels you can join. All of those get you into the live Q&A call-in session. We love your questions. If you've got stocks or ETFs you want us to help you backtrack for practice trading, we'll do that too, live on the show. So think about joining us. God bless, my friends. All the best from the whole team at Charting Wealth World Headquarters.